Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. This is Felons Talk, and John Greshner is here with us again to tell us about the murder of Cadillac Smith by,
Tommy Silverstein and Clay Fountain
yeah,
in the Marion Control Unit.
right. So
Yep.
go ahead, Don. Tell us about it.
All right. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I read something in Pete Earley's book in regards to the killing of Raymond Cadillac Smith, who actually, by the way, was a friend of mine.
Who?
By
Cadillac?
Cadillac Smith. Yeah, Cadillac was a friend of mine. Listen, man, me and him did a lot of time in them slammers together. There was times when I'd be beefing with the cops, and Cadillac would come to me before even my own people, and he'd tell me straight up, he'd say, hey, John, he said, brother, when you're ready to roll on them Romans, you got my hand, I'm with you. Man, me and Cadillac was like that. When this shit was happening over on C Range, because I was on D Range when this happened to him. This was going on over in C Range, all this drama, right? And I was trying to squash it, but it went too far. He tried to stab Tommy through the bars.
Yeah.
And, Cadillac, once he'd get going, he'd get talking shit like, you cracker motherfuckers, I'm going to kill you. I'll fuck you. I'll tie your mama to a tree and fuck her in her ass. And it just got so far that there ain't no taking it back. Somebody's going to kill him, right?
Right.
So the thing is they started plotting and scheming on him over on C Range. And it took them over a month to saw through the chicken wire rec cage. You know how it ran the whole length of the tier? The screen, the little diamond screen cage that we're in.
Hey,
it took them over a month.
I think Larry Vaughn brought them little files over, didn't he?
No, these were hacksaw blades. These were actual pieces of hacksaw blades.
Right.
But it took them a month, over a month,
really?
to saw through that. Yeah, and then they got to be careful so they don't get told on.
Yeah.
And they're sawing, and then they got their homemade paint. They're doctoring it up. And they got to use a little wire.
They did take their time, then, huh?
Yeah, in case they come through, the rubber hammers get beaten out so they don't bust it on. Anyhow, it took like over a month. Anyhow, the night it went down, they were in. Tommy and Clay were in the wreck cage. They let Cadillac out for a shower. And the shower is, right next to one cell on the end of the range there. You know how that figured, right? So the shower was open. Cadillac was out. He walked down the tier a little bit, talked to some of his own boys, and the cops tell him, all right, Smith, come on, get in the shower. And Cadillac said, fuck you, I'll get there when I get there, blah, blah, blah. And he was walking down a little bit, and his back was to the back of the range.
Right.
And they pulled it open, and Clay went out first because he's smaller than Tommy. Right. They both got knives. He rolls out first. Tommy rolls out behind him, and then they're running full fucking blast down the tier for Cadillac. He don't know it yet, and the cop hollers at Tommy and Clay. Fountain, Silverstein, stop. He sees the knives in their hands, and Cadillac turns around, looks at him, and sees them coming, and the cop hollers to Cadillac. He said, man, get in the fucking shower, because the shower door's open.
Yeah, right.
And he tried to get down there, but he couldn't do it.
Wow.
And Clay got up on him, first started hitting him, Tommy started hitting him, and what happened, in Pete Earley's book, they're saying that Cadillac had a piece of these stabbed Clay. That's not what happened.
Did he have a piece? He did, right?
Well, he may have had a piece, but he didn't stab him. What happened is you know how it is, man, when it's like, when dudes if you got a hit team rolling on somebody, if they aren't like surgeons and doing exactly what they're supposed to. For instance, here's an example. When a cell extraction team, a goon squad, comes to get you, you got the front guy, the shield guy, and then you got cops that are assigned to each body part. You grab the left leg, you grab the right leg, you left arm. This is to subdue you and hold you down. It's a very methodical process. It's the same thing with knives or guns. If you're running down there, especially when guys get into this bloodlust and get into this berserker mode, you got to be careful. You're going to end up stabbing your own guys. What happened was they're stabbing Cadillac up. I heard it. When he first seen him and seen what was happening, he started to holler. He went, oh! And you ever hear the old Tarzan movies where Tarzan's going, oh, and then he's beating his chest, and it sounds like this, like that. Right. Those were the sounds of the fists hitting his body when he was screaming with the steel in it. I mean, I can hear everything right there on him. So the thing is, there's Tommy.
Go ahead. But I just wanted to say, both Clay and Tommy had a shank.
Yeah, both Tommy and Clay. Yeah, they're going down there to kill him. They ain't fucking.
I know, but I heard there was only one shank between them. I heard.
No, you're hearing wrong.
Wasn't that
They
what,
both had.
Pete said in the book or something? Wasn't that what he
Yeah,
said?
Pete says one. He says Cadillac had a knife. Cadillac was the one that stabbed Clay. That's all bullshit. It's just bad information. Tommy fucking swung that fucking Cadillac, missed him, and stabbed Clay in the chest.
No shit.
So, yeah, so then they're on him, they stabbing him up, they get him down, then they finish the job, and they stab him like a lot of times. He's got a lot of holes.
Yeah, I heard.
Blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's blood everywhere. What they intended to do was to grab his dead body and drag it down in front of his homie's cell, pull out their dicks, piss in his dead face, and then tell them, this is what you motherfuckers got coming too. I'm telling you, this is straight up what their intention was. But there was so much blood, and Cadillac was a big guy. He was big and thick and muscled up, right? They couldn't pull him. There was too much blood. He kept slipping out of their hands, right? That's when Tommy went down and told that one black dude that tried to set Tommy up and lure him in front of the cell so Cadillac could try to stab him up. He told him, "You're next, motherfucker." So the thing is, and you know, this is. I wanted to make that point that it was actually Tommy that stabbed Clay, because it's like when Puppet and them guys killed Buzzard out on the main line at Marion because he was taking brand knives and selling them for fucking dope, get shots of dope. You know, you're gonna get killed for doing that.
Right.
When they got on him, Puppet had the knife, so Puppet's stabbing him up. And then they rolled him over, and Puppet started stabbing him in the fucking chest and stomach and in his face. And then, you know, he's in that bloodlust, man. And he starts just slinging that steel real wild, and he stabbed one of his guys. I think it was Pigpen he stabbed.
Oh, Pigpen?
Yeah, so, one of them. He stabbed one of them, right? It's the same thing with old Buckethead Mills, Barry Mills.
They both fucking told on him, too, right? Stan Pierce and fucking
Pigpen. Absolutely, yeah. So, but anyhow, Puppet stabbed one. And it's like when Barry was out in Quinton, him and another dude moved on a BGF and started stabbing him up. They killed him, and in the process, the guy with old Buckethead Mills stabbed Barry right in the fucking ass.
Okay.
Right in the fucking cheek was that. I mean, so that's what happens if you're not careful. You know, that's why I always told guys, listen, man, if a fucking melee or something cracks off and the knives come up, don't be stabbing me.
Listen, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. With the dude that they strangled, what was his name? Chappelle.
Omar Chappelle.
Okay, so
Omar. That's another one.
Listen, let me ask you a question. Who did he disrespect?
I'll tell you. I know the whole fucking trip. Listen.
I heard it was what's his name? Champernosa.
Keto Vargas. No, Keto Vargas, the Emmy dude. Out on the main line, he snatched Keto up by his throat, slammed him up against the wall, and he disrespected him. So some of our guys and some of the Emmy dudes wanted to get him right then. And a couple other guys that was champing him said, no, don't do that yet, and put it on hold, right?
No.
So what happened was then Omar got in a beef. They stabbed up a cop and ended up down in the shoe.
Okay.
So what happened is Champ came to the brand and says, listen, man, I want to do some business with you guys because, you know, we've always been cool.
Trade the bodies and stuff?
Well, the thing was is when they first formed back in the days in Quinton,
right.
They were beefing with the North, right? And what they did is they came to us. There's actually film on this. They came to us to form an alliance to help them on the battlefields, right? In fact, the film says the founder, Joe Morgan, and all them went to the Aryan Brotherhood guys, one of the most violent fucking prison gangs in the country, right? Yeah. That's what the fucking brand's known for, right? Mm-hmm. And formed an alliance. But you got to understand, a lot of us in the streets knew these guys in the streets, come from the same neighborhoods. He was
co-defendants with Champ.
Joe Morgan and Champ, Adolfo Reynoso, that's Champ.
I know.
And Champ was the second guy in control in the feds on the table on the Emmy.
But he was his co-defendant. His co-defendant.
He's dead now, so I can say that.
Yeah.
And so is Puppet's dead now, and Joe Morgan, Peg Leg Joe's dead, so you can't hurt him. But yeah, they were all rappies on a bank robbery. That's what they came into the feds for.
Puppet and Champ, right?
Puppet, Champ, and Joe Morgan.
Was he also on it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all rappies on a bank robbery. Yeah, out there in California.
Yeah, I heard West
That's
Covina.
that's the same reason and Barry and fucking Danny Kavanaugh, DC,
Right.
and Keto Vargas were all rappies on a bank. They dressed up as cops and went in with badges and robbed a bank down there in California, Southern California. And they call it like the Queens Bank, right? They robbed the bank down there. They were all rat partners too.
Okay.
So, but that whole thing cracked off with Omar Chappelle because he disrespected the Emmy and he
The
disrespected
Vargas kid.
Kendall Vargas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even in Early's book, he's got Vargas's name wrong. He's got it something else. His name is Keto, like gun, because Keto's like a revolutionary, like a Che Guevara type guy, right? So anyhow. That's what that was, and then they fucking hooked it all up and all that. It took a minute. And this guy, he's out there. It wasn't just him disrespecting Kato. This guy's another kind of like Cadillac. I'm here
I
talking
heard he was.
racial shit.
Yeah, I heard he had a mouth on him. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of black guys tell him, "What the fuck are you doing? It ain't that time up in here. Everybody gets along." All the races get along, all the crews get along, everything's cool. You're just needlessly stirring shit up. So he's running his head and all that. So that made it just a little bit easier to want to kill him anyhow.
Right.
Because you know how it is down in them slammers. Listen, man, I told a professor Ward one time, we were talking about it, I said, let me tell you something. Two of the most prominent therapeutic psychological modalities down in them deep slammers, solitary confinement, sensory deprivations, and all that. It's so fucking bad that what happens is it's homicide and suicide. Motherfuckers want to kill people. It's cathartic. And other motherfuckers want to kill themselves, try to escape where they're at, right?
Yeah.
And that's the truth of that, man.
Right.
So that whole trip going on with Omar, he's talking all that shit, stern shit. And that's another guy I was cool with. He never disrespected me. All that me and him got along, but he just kind of had this thing, man. And
didn't Little Matt try to take that beef?
And then, listen, and then he would talk shit, and then in the control unit right there, it's like the main line out of Marion. Your bed goes maybe a foot from the fucking bars.
I know.
So he would lay down with his head right by the bars, looking at that fucking TV.
That was nuts.
And and they just he's oblivious to what he's doing and what he's creating. They just walked up and wrapped a fucking wire around his neck and choked him out. You know what I mean? That's how he got whacked, man.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to ask you something, but I forgot, man. Something about I forget, man. I forget. Oh, Little Matt. Didn't Little Matt try to take that murder himself?
Yeah, what he did, because they didn't know Omar was dead.
Right. They changed the rec crew.
They changed the rec crews, locked Tommy and Clay up, let Matt out. We used to call him 240 Shorty. And they let him out, and then he went back in, and it was a minute before they snapped that he was fucking dead. And then, so little Matt got up in the stand and told him, you remember that day? Yeah, I remember. That's the day I killed Omar Chappelle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then he says, then they were playing cutie pie, and during the trial, he says, well, you got a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Okay, I stand on that. And it created a controversy and this and that. Then Judge Foreman told him to just scratch his statements about killing Chappelle and all that.
But
you know what I mean?
Does any inmate testifying against him?
No, I don't think so.
So how can they prove it? I mean, like, if they didn't actually see it, and if little Matt was taking the beef, I don't understand that.
I don't recall if there was, because there was a lot of drama at that time, and we were down there in the control unit getting. They were talking to a lot of black dudes saying, "Hey, listen, you guys need to go downtown and testify. This is our business. It ain't got nothing to do with the cops and none of that. It's amongst us, right? That we got to deal with this shit."
Yeah.
And some of them were on that time. Other ones were hollering in the windows like one DC black hollering, and some other guys, "Nigger, aren't you crazy? They're up in here killing niggers, and you're gonna go down there and help get off scot-free."
I know who that was, man. That was that kid from Louisiana. What was his name? What's the kid from Louisiana? New Orleans.
There were talking about? You ain't. The
Francois.
Oh, Francois. No, this wasn't Francois. Francois is from the French West Indies.
Oh. Well, anyway, he
That's where he's
testified.
from, down in the Caribbean, South Atlantic down there.
I know.
That's another guy. Francois was my buddy, man.
Francois was all
call
right.
each other comrade.
Yeah,
Francois. Yeah.
He testified for Tommy and them, though. I think.
Yeah. So, a lot of us were good. It's just every now and then you get an anomaly up in there that would needlessly stir shit up. They just either can't do their time, or they got a lot of their own prior history and psychological things and this and that, and the stress of being in them deep slammers and sensory deprivation all gets to them, and they start bugging, man, and then they start talking shit and getting crazy, not realizing them doing what they're doing, you're going to stir shit up where you're going to motherfucking have people wanting to kill you.
Yeah, right.
This is no joke. This is no joke, man. You're gonna have people wanting to get up on you, and if you think somehow that you're in a cell with the bar door closed, that you're safe, you are really tripping, because people will saw through the bars, they will saw through wreck cages, they will fucking take hostages. There was a trip out west where there was a dude in a cell selling death like that, talking all that racial shit, cracker this, cracker that, blah, blah. And a couple dudes rolled out with motherfucking pieces, snatched up a cop, slapped the motherfucking steel to his neck, and told the gunner, listen, you got a real easy fucking call here. You're either going to open this dude's door and let us get to him, or we're going to kill this cop. Choose something right now. Shit, that's a no-brainer. He just popped the door open.
Right.
They turned the cop loose, went in there and butchered that motherfucker. And that's how that shit goes down, right? So, but here's the thing. Welcome to corrections in the United States of America. DOC, Department of Corporations, BOP, Business of Prisons. Listen, the industrial prison complex, they got hundreds of thousands of people slammed in these joints. They use this shit to create these solitary confinement slammers and all that. I told them on either 60 Minutes or 2020 back in the 1980s, I told them, listen, man, if you keep putting people in these deep slammer environments, sensory deprivation, solitary and all that, and keep burning them down like this, I do not envy you having to meet and deal with the monsters that are going to come out these fucking ashes at you.
You have 1 minute left.
Because they're coming. And all you got to do is look at the history, man. That's what it is. All right, listen, man, I'll holler at you tomorrow. We got to go.
We got to go. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, John.
Take care. Y'all tell all the peeps hello. Write in and tell your friends about this stuff, man. We need to get it out there. I'll catch you later, man. Take care.
All right, John. Bye.
Bye.